Well folks, Fiver and I have just had a wonderful time acting as a guide on a New Forest walk with my fellow YouTuber friend Patrick Leach, who has actually done a video on the walk. Hello Patrick.
Hello Dave, how you doing? Nice to meet you.
And the sun's just come out, which is lovely.
Yes.
So Patrick has done a video on the walk, and I'll put the link to that video and the details down below. But before you rush off and check out the video, I thought I'd ask a few questions with Patrick, find a little bit more about him, and he's agreed to be a sport. So see how it goes. Yeah. So firstly, basically to tell the viewers, what's your channel about, Patrick?
Well, my YouTube channel is called the Solitary Rambler, and basically I do very similar to yourself. I make films of walks. Most of the ones I've done are up in the Peak District because that's where I live. Yeah. However, I do try and vary it up a little bit. So like this week I've come down to the New Forest because I've never filmed here before, and I've made a couple already, and I'm really excited about doing more walks here. So my YouTube channel started in 2011, I think.
Oh, it's been going a while.
So quite a while, but of course, you know, it's evolved over time. Yeah. However, I was filmmaking before that. So the actual Solitary Rambler, as it's called, started in 1993.
Steady on, you're on to my second question already. What inspired you to start the channel?
Well, yes, because obviously I was already filmmaking as of 1993, but of course YouTube wasn't around in those days. No. So when YouTube started, I think about 2005, somebody said to me, why don't you put your videos on YouTube? So I did, and then from that time onwards I then sort of started to continue making more walks, films of walks, and they've adapted, knowing now that I'm going to put them onto YouTube. Yeah.
Lovely. You mentioned walks there. Where do you get your ideas and your research for the walks that you do?
Well, a lot of them initially were around the Wye Valley and Forest of Dean in Gloucestershire and Monmouthshire, because that's where I grew up. So when I first started making my Solitary Rambler films, I made them in that area because that was the place where my heart was. Okay, yeah. But just over time, like now, as I say, I've been living in Derbyshire for a long time. I've sort of done a lot of walks in the Peak District. So, but I just try, and sometimes it's a bit like sort of pinning the tail on the donkey. You just think, oh well, where shall I go this time? Bang, you know. Yeah. And this time I just thought, well, let's go to the New Forest because I've not been here for years, and it's a beautiful area. And as I say, I just like to vary it up a little bit, really.
Yeah, lovely. Your channel, it's got about 10,000 subscribers, similar to mine now, and you've certainly produced quite a few videos. Do you have a favourite video or a favourite part of the country that you like to video?
Yeah, I mean, again, I think going back to the Wye Valley and Forest of Dean, because it's sort of like where my heart was, that was a favourite. But I think a favourite video in particular, last year I went to that area, and whilst I was down there I made a video about the Severn Bridge, the very first road bridge over the Severn Estuary. And I always think the best videos for me are the ones where I've got some personal connection to. Sure. So I did a walk around that area, but I also featured the Severn Bridge because my mother used to work for the company that built the bridge when she was a teenager. Yeah. So it was very interesting because I had that connection to it. Yeah. And for me, I like the ones that have just more of a personal connection with, really.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Okay, well, so do check out Patrick's channel. Once again, it's called
the Solitary Rambler.
And I say quite similar styles of presenting to myself, and you know, walks in the countryside. It's just that Patrick does a slightly different area, and he doesn't have a whippet. Should be the other way around. I'm the southerner, you're the northerner. You should have the whippet. Anyway, we're now off to the Royal Oak pub, which I can just see a few yards away from me, just to conduct some vital research for Patrick's video.
Sounds a good idea.